Be advised, the opinions and views of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Peoples of this country, hindi makikita yung pinanggalingan natin.
Susundo ka ng doktor, habulin ka ng aso, lahat ng tinanas ka.
Hindi nire-release naman ng pork barrel kasi useless naman.
Mga patay, papabigyan ko ng 5,000 from my... So,
Marami na nagsasabi na
Hindi. Dahil baka mangyari, lahat ng madi-dismiss, mang-hostage na lang para ma-reinstate.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Welcome to our program, Heartbeat Live. I'm your host, Ray Rosa. Magkakapiling po tayo sa halos isang oras. At sa gabing ito, marami tayong mapapag-usapan po napakahalaga para sa ating bayan. Nga lang, bago po ko mag-umpisa, papaalala ko lang sa inyo na makakapadala kayo ng text sa amin so that we can answer some of your questions on the issues that we are taking up po sa gabing ito. At mag-aanunsyo kami sa inyo po ng mga winners natin for last week's program po, ang mga interesting texts. You know po, itong mga texts nito, paski na binibigyan namin ng gantimpalang e-load na 100 pesos, does not mean that we always agree with them. It's just that the texts are interesting at magandang pag-usapan at puminsan po nakakapagbigay ng mas malalim na pag-uunawa sa mga nangyayari, kanya po namin binabasa. Mauna tayo po, ang winner number 1 from... Text promo winner number 1 from 0917-910-4500 from Greg Cardino of Marikina City. Sobra na po ang dali na. Sobra sa pakikialam na ni Pinoy sa impeachment trial. Para siyang hindi presidente. Walang statesmanship. Bira lang ng bira. Alright, before I comment on that, sasabihin ko lang sa inyo isang bagay. Alam po nyo, marahil, sino man ang presidente, marami siyang gagawin na hindi tayo sasang-ayon. We might have a different idea, we might have a different concept. Kanya lang po, ang sasabihin ko lang ganito. We must make a distinction between yung ating disagreement sa kanyang posisyon, sa kanyang sinabi, from the office. At sana hindi po tayo mawawalan ng respeto para sa katungkulan niya at sa opisina na kanyang pinangahawakan. You can disagree as much as you like, and you know that I have disagreed with some of the things that the President has done. Kanya lang, huwag sana nating kalimutan, siya pa rin ang Presidente, at maski na akala nating nangyayari at sinasabi o hindi niya ginagawang tama, kailangan hindi mawawala sa atin ang paggalang sa posisyon. Alam po ninyo, mayroong magandang batayan yan po mula sa banal na kasulatan. Bakit? Nung hari po si King Saul, na pinili ng tao, maski na ayaw ng Panginoon, binagbigyan niya, ang nangyari po doon, tinuligsan ni Saul si David. Tinuligsan niya sa paraan at gusto niyang patayin ilang beses. Si David naman nagkaroon ng pagkakataon na patayin din si Saul. Pero ni minsan hindi po niya ginalaw. At sabi niya, I will not touch the Lord's anointed. Pero alam natin, hindi yun ang talagang pinili ng Panginoon para maging hari ng Israel. So dito natin nakita po na kailangan maski na anong pusok ng ating puso. Kung galit na galit tayo sa isang bagay, hindi naman nararapat na yung galit na yon ang siyang iiral na lamang sa ating pagkilos. So I just want to draw the distinction that, of course, we may agree with the comments of our viewers at sa puso natin, sasabihin natin, naku, walang kakwenta-kwenta ang ginagawa ng Pangulo. Pero, wag tayo mawala ng galang sa kanyang pwesto. Okay? And our second winner for this week, from 0922-848-5946, mula naman po kay Eli Reyes of Fort Bonifacio, Taguig City. Impeachment shows what kind of officials we elect or the level of mind they have. They show that telling lies is normal. I don't know where this country will go. Alam po ninyo, tamang-tama yan sa programa nating gabi. Ngayong gabi po, sapagkat meron tayong mga kakausaping ilang tao na marahil makakapagbigay sa atin ng ideya nila kung saan papunta ang bayan at paano natin sasagipin ang bayan na ito mula sa kalungkutan o sa problemang nakikita nating dumadating sa ating landas. Kanya po sa ngayong gabing ito po, ipakikilala ko sa inyo ang ating panauhin. At bago ko lang gawin yon, I just want to greet baby ang ating production coordinator dito. Piyesta niya kahapon. So, happy birthday, baby. I hope you had a good day yesterday. Alright, ito ang ating mga panauhin. Sa una po, dito sa aking pangalawang kanan po, dito si Dr. Nenita Manongsong. Tama ba yung pagka-pronounce ko nun? Siya po ang regional chair sa NCR ng Central Democratic Movement Centrist Democratic Movement Federation. Yung ba ang pangalan?
Party.
Alright. Or party. Or
Centrist Democratic Party.
Ayun, ngayon pala, Centric Democratic Party. At ang pangalawa ay ang ating dating suki at kaibigan at matagal na po na kaming kadiskusyon at kaargumento in private. Si Mr. Lito Monico Lorenzana. Siya po ang convener ng Centrist Democratic Party. At saka dati po, nung panahon po ni Presidente Cory, he was the Undersecretary po of DILG, Department of Interior and Local Governments. Kanya hindi po siya bagong sulong lang. Bumuti na ang buhok po sa karanasan sa pagpangasiwa ng bayan na ito. Alright, welcome Kalito and Dr. Nenita. Ano ba itong Centrist Democratic Party na tinayo ninyo? Pero alam po ninyo, bago ko umpisa niyan, I want to give you a background. Maraming tao dito naniniwala na ang problema natin, kailangan natin baguhin ang ating saligang batas. Meron namang iba naniniwala na kailangan mabago ang ating party system sapagkat itong napakaraming partido tsaka itong issue ng mga party list na yan ay malaki daw problema. Meron man na nagsasabi, hindi, walang problema sa sistema, ang problema yung mga tao. Well, I guess to some extent, people will always be the problem, no? Sapagkat sa pamamagitan nila umiira lahat ng gawa at saka lahat ng pagkilos para sa bayan. At meron namang iba dyan na marahil iba ang solusyon, katulad ng CPP-NPA. Puksain ang pamahalaan at mag-rule from the barrel of a gun. Sandata ang pinakamalaking kapangyarihan. At sabi nga ni Mao Zedong, power comes out of the barrel of a gun. So meron namang iba dyan na naniniwala, daanin sa demonstrasyon. So wala silang ginawa kundi maglalabas sa lansangan trying to mobilize public opinion. Kanya kung minsan litong-lito tayo dito kung anong gagawin. Ngayon, paliliwanag sa atin ngayon ni Carlito at saka ni Dr. Nenita, ano ba ang pinaplano at ang mga panukala ninyo dyan sa Centrist Political Party? Sino gusto mag-umpisa? Sige, ikaw, Dr. Nenita.
Ang Centrist Democratic Party po, sa Tagalog, ang partidong tunay na demokrasya.
Uy. So, bakit? Fake ba itong demokrasya natin?
Exactly.
Yun ang pundasyon ninyo.
Opo.
This is not a real democracy. What is it?
Well,
Or whatever you call it, it doesn't matter.
Actually, we are not experiencing real democracy.
Okay.
Why? Ang boses po ng taong bayan ay may kumbaga sa bibig ay may busal.
Parang masasabi when we have such freedom of expression in this country, hindi ba?
But it's the rule of the elite, of the oligarchs.
But not to the point of muzzling public opinion.
Of course not.
Sige, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Our core value po is focused on human dignity.
Respect for.
Respect for human dignity.
Okay.
We have our principles, and that is to institute change in order to embrace social market economy. We wanted reform and value
Where?
the principles of subsidiarity. We really would want to
Pakiliwanag
empower
naman.
local
Doktora
government
Nenita,
units.
pakiliwanag yung prinsipyo ng subsidiarity. So, pagkat medyo lumalampas sa ulo ko yan.
Opo. Simple lang po. Gusto po naming palakasin, no? Yung mga kakayanan ng mga tao sa lokal na pamayanan.
Hindi ba meron na tayong
Autonomy.
local autonomy code?
Kung
Panahon mo na, inak.
Yeah,
di ba?
itong local autonomy is during our time, yun the time of Cory. Si Pimentel wrote that, no?
Yeah.
Pero hindi, totoo lang talaga, this was not really practice. It was more on the theory rather than practice.
In other words, sabi mo, yung mga prinsiping yun na enact na into law, pero hanggang ngayon hindi pa napapa... Well, I think I can agree with that. Carlito, hindi ba? Yun lang problema ng pera at pag-hold back ng mga IRA. Nangyayari.
Kagaya nga, ngayon, is that in order that the local government can decide for themselves, ang decision talaga, Ray, is to bring it from
Again,
the center. Okay?
Nasa Malacanang pa rin, no, sa
because
mga DILG.
it's so centralized. That's why a lot of people, especially in Mindanao at sa Visayas, tinatawag pa rin nila, we hate this problem being solved in Imperial Manila.
Okay.
But center all the time. Now, decision-making, Ray, to be more effective, dapat ibababa yan
Yes.
as close as possible to the people that are affected by that decision.
Let me ask you a question, and
Okay,
it's a very relevant question.
Yes.
The question of the IRA for local government has long been established and decided by the Supreme Court. It does not need any budget appropriation. It does not have to go through Congress. In effect, the 5% share of the barangays, etc., are being held by the national government in trust. But all the presidents have held it back and have not released it when the decisions in law are already there.
Exactly, because
Bakit?
because that is the way how to control the local government. See, yan ang so itong tinatawag na internal revenue overloadment, dapat automatic yan eh.
By law, it's already there.
But but the president has a way of using this. Ipupukpuk yan sa mga local government. So the local government people will follow what the dictation of the Malacanang is. Diba?
Yes. And as a result of that, nagkakaroon po ng politics of patronage.
Okay. Pa hindi ba yan that's the fundamental politics of the land, between the voter and the politician?
Exactly.
It's a politics of patronage.
And that is what
Iboto mo ako kasi nagtayo ako ng tulay. Gumawa ako ng barangay hall. Inaspalto ko yung karsada mo. Ang hindi lang na sinasabi, pero pera din nyo yun. Bakit kayo may utang na loob?
Kaya nga, yung problema natin dito, yung the politics of patronage, the patron kasi is that from 300 years under Spanish regime, doon natin natutuhan, is cultural yan eh. But this is one of the things that matters a lot.
Hanggang ngayon ba naman, pinagbibintangan pa natin ng Kastila, nagkaroon na
Hindi
tayo
natin,
ng 50 taon ng Amerikano eh.
No, we are not blaming them. We are blaming the concept of patronage which has been handed down. And that's why ang labas nito ngayon is that the local government people at saka yung mga people who want to run for office will always look to a patron. Okay?
Pero alam mo, Carlito, patronage politics exists in many democratic countries, even in America.
Yes, I agree.
So, paano tayo naiba dun?
But we are not, different nga sa ating problema is that this is one of the practices which we have either to destroy or to lessen.
How
I'm not
are
saying
you
that
going to-
overnight magagawa natin yan. Okay?
Pero how do you intend to start?
First,
Or the centrist
okay.
party?
Okay. The Centrist Democratic Party actually is a membership-based party. The members do pay our dues. Okay? And
Ano naman ang benepisyo nila kung naging member at
for us
bayad
to have
sila?
a stake to the party.
Oo.
At ang bawat kasapi po ay may boses. It's not the rule of the elite. Hindi porke may
Strictly
dumating.
rule of the majority?
Exactly.
So lahat ng
Exactly.
bagay, iboboto mo sa lahat ng membro all the time?
Hindi naman.
We have
Your election
representatives.
eh.
We have representatives.
But it's
Pero
not the
wala
same
pong
with
dikta, ang sino man na pumasok na porke may pera siya, siya yung magro-rule sa amin.
Okay.
That's right.
Because it's the rule of all the members. We are membership-based. We value each member. So, nobody could rule us. For example, someone would want to, like for example po, there was this incident when one of the leaders in one region would want to buy, okay, I want to be a part of this party and I will pay for their membership. We do not allow that.
Okay.
We do not allow that because we really value each membership
Now, you're
dues.
talking about cultural values that you're trying to imbue the Centrist Party.
Yes.
You know, Desmond Morris, who wrote The Naked Ape, the book The Naked Ape, I think you're familiar with that,
Familiar with
once said that even among the primates, yung mga gorilla,
Opo.
There is
there
a
is a
hierarchy,
social
no?
hierarchy.
This is hierarchy.
Okay, and ang obserbasyon niya, kung ikaw nandito sa lugar na ito, okay lang yung hierarchy. Ha? Gusto mo malaman sino nasa ibabaw mo, sino nasa tagiliran mo, at
Opo.
sino nasa ilalim mo.
Exactly.
Ang ayaw ng tao na mabago yung order na yun. Kung nasa ibabaw ka, hindi baling tumaas ka. Pero kung on the same level ka, hindi ka pwedeng tumaas na hindi ako tumataas. O kaya kung ikay nasa sa ilalim, hindi ka pwedeng pumunta sa ibabaw. In other words, if that is, a hierarchy is the essence of human organization, absolutist or esoterical principles like the rule of the many and that everybody has a space and is the same,
Does not
that
count,
kind of
okay.
egalitarian type of thinking,
Does not count,
some people say
okay.
are terribly impractical because it goes against fundamental societal organization values.
Yes.
So you are going to be counterculture.
No, we're not.
We are not counterculture.
Oh.
No, you are bringing this to a different level, the discussion level ito. We're talking about basically, go back to the concept of patronage. What we're saying only is that you have to let the individual decide for himself. That's why.
Okay.
So the individual has the ability to decide for himself. This also goes back to our principle of respect for human dignity.
Yes.
Okay? Hindi pwede na somebody speaks for you and say, okay, itong gagawin mo. Look what's happening. If you want to run for a position, you run to a patron. Okay? So that the guy and the patron says, okay, this is what you do. So, is this what we want? Hindi. So they said, okay, may pera ako, ikaw tatakbo ngayon ng mayor. Ako may pera. So kung mayor ka na, sinong susundin mo? Yung tao? No. Susundin mo yung patron mo. Okay? So this is what we try to lessen or destroy concept of patronage. That's only one. Now, you bring the decision-making as low as possible to the lowest. Yan ang
Yes.
tawag subsidiarity. Mahirap lang kasi yung gagamitin natin yung like subsidiarity. Pero what it really says is that bring the decision-making as low as possible
Yes.
to those people who are
Hindi,
affected.
magiging majority decision lang.
Majority decision, but you also work under the concept of representation.
Yes.
Okay? Now, the third...
So it's the decision of the representatives.
Exactly.
So hindi na dadalhin sa baba yun.
You as low
From
as
the
possible
grassroots.
na, see? So you do not centralize it all, you do not put it only in central areas like Metro Manila, everything is decided here. You bring this decision
All other
making.
regions.
And
do
there is no
participate.
possibility of influencing those people down the line to support somebody which the top leaders want?
No.
Mali din yun. What we're saying is that as I've said nga, that's why you have to be very logical about how you think. Okay? Ang ating kasi iniisip natin yung first is we are so engrossed into patronage that we don't begin to understand na yung palang decision niya.
Nakakasama.
Oo, nakakasama.
Pero alam mo, Carlito, kasi, ang isip ng Pilipino, hindi yun just being practical. Practical lang ako. Ang hirap naman sa inyo, nandun kayo sa langit. Eh.
But we are going against that because when you say practical, pragmatic, practical, in the first place, walang nangyayari. For how many years na tayo nagpa-practice ng so-called democracy? Ano nangyayari sa atin? 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we're number 2 economy in the Philippines after Japan. Ano ngayon? Number 2 pa rin tayo.
So, from the bottom.
From the bottom. Bangladesh and tayo.
Alright,
You
let me
see?
ask you a
Now,
little
what
bit.
I'm saying is that this is just one of the principles. So, karami pa niyan. The other one is the type of economics we have.
Yeah.
See?
Okay. Everybody's for free enterprise
Yes,
and
but enterprise that-
democratically framed economy.
So what happened to the less capitalized? What happened to the people who could no longer work? What
Yes.
happened to the people who are less has in the society? Di
So
ba?
you want more socialistic type
Not
policies?
socialistic. We want to imbue. This is what we call it social market economy because we still believe in free enterprise, believe in free market, but this has to be imbued with social consciousness and social safety net. That's why you marry together, Ray, the rightist concept of liberal capitalist with the social component. You married in, that's why we call it social market economy.
That works because you are able to generate enough tax revenue to support all the
Exactly.
social activities you have.
Exactly.
But if the businessmen don't want to pay tax, what are you
Exactly,
going to do?
that's one of the problem. You have to make sure that you have, in order that social market economy can
Implement.
work, you have to have a state that is a strong state, not a soft
Yes.
state. A strong state simply means that we follow the rules.
Yes.
We follow the laws. Okay?
So, ang foundation mo dyan, rule of law.
Yes,
very
the rule of
strong.
law.
Yes.
That's central. That's why sabi
It
ko,
truly
ikaw kasi
functioning
diretso ka
democracy.
kagad doon sa dito. First is that you have to understand that the rule of law must prevail and nobody is above the law. Right now,
Yes.
is this happening? Of course not. This is not happening. You see?
You mean to tell me we don't have rule of law in this country? What are you saying, Carlito?
Surprise, surprise, surprise. There is nothing. If you have an ampatuan going all over the place, killing people like that, and up to now, you cannot even bring them to
Yes.
justice. Do you have, because that's the rule of law?
Aba, yun nga ba sinasabi namin, kaming mga mahirap, matagal kami nagre-reklamo dito para lang sa mayayaman ng batas dito sa bansa.
Exactly. That's why we have this centrist Democratic
Democratic
Party that
Party.
understand first and foremost,
Yes.
we have to insist that the rule of law must prevail.
But
Yes.
how can you insist? Are you gonna use force to enforce?
No. First, we have to understand that people like us must understand the ideological background.
Kasi yun ang diferensya lang naman sa
Tama,
kaliwa.
tama,
Eh.
tama.
Gusto nila puwersa para...
No, not person. The force of the idea. Alam mo naman yan, Ray, di ba? The idea, the force of idea is much stronger. You are in the media. The force of the pen is much stronger than force.
Well, this is why
Diba?
I'm trying to be devil's advocate so you can guys come
Exactly,
up with
exactly.
a passionate defense of
We
your
have
idea.
to be very passionate
All right,
about it.
define please what you mean by centrist.
Centrist.
Hindi ka kaliwa, hindi ka kanan.
No,
Ganun
una
ba yun?
kasi. Hindi. Centrist is not defined from the left and right. Centrist actually is the
Voice of the silent majority.
No, not
Hindi
even
rin.
that.
Oh, okay.
Centrist comes from a long, long line history of first. Many years ago in Europe, this is really what we call Christian Democrats.
Yes.
But when you talk about Christian Democrats, paminsan nawawala na yung brother Muslims, the Hindus, etc., etc. You want to encompass them. So instead of calling Christian, which denotes only religious Christianity or whatever, we have to
Welcome them all.
welcome them all. So we call it to centrist Democrat. But forget about left, right, and center. That is not where left, right, and center is, or centrist Democrat. It simply means that yung panindigan ng centrist democratic movement is basically yung first,
Panindigan for the individual.
individual.
Yes.
Now, second is that human dignity is above all. Whether you believe in God or not, by the fact that you are born human, you have dignity. Yun ang
Okay.
importante.
I have dignity because I am middle class or well-to-do, but when I am poor and I'm not earning and not eating properly, what dignity are you
Exactly,
talking
that's
about?
what we're saying.
But what is your solution to the endemic poverty level
We
that
are
is
not,
in this
you know,
country?
kasi we're jumping already to the solution. Well, first,
Oh.
if
Just
we are-
ideas, your basic ideas.
some of the basic ideas, first of all, is that you have to, first, yung importante nga, yung basic that rule of law must prevail.
Yes.
Everybody is equal in rule of law, so that nobody is above the law, so that the patron will say, I am the law. You are my minion. So,
Yes.
Are you trying to redefine the meaning of public service?
no. In fact, we are trying to make sure that public service is really service for the public,
Yes.
but not service
For the privilege or for the pocket?
Exactly.
Okay.
And that has been happening so many years. That's why, as I've said 30, 40 years before, when we have our so-called democracy.
But, Carlito, some people are saying the reason you don't have good public service today is because the foundational beliefs that ought to produce good public service are not there.
Well,
So, in other words, when you talk about this, it's siguro ang pananaw ng tao tungkol sa paglilingkod sa bayan eh. Na ito ay pribileyo, hindi karapatan.
exactly. Totoo yan.
Di ba?
Yes.
Ngayon,
So, you have
ito
to
naman
understand that
sa'yo.
public service
Is a public
is a
trust.
Yes.
public trust. See?
Okay,
People
well, nakalagay,
mouth that, ha?
nakalagay na yan sa ating saligang batas
Yes,
eh.
but is it being followed? Is it being followed?
Anong gusto mo?
It is not.
Sabi nga nila dito, kung kukunin natin lahat ng tao rito na nagkungurakot sa gobyerno, ay baka walang matira.
Yan lang.
Bakit? Naganap na.
Laganap.
Yan ang masakit. That's why we have these young
Yes.
professionals who understand
Yan.
bago sila makurap ng sistema.
Yes.
Pare, bago sila makurap ng sistema is that they have to work together among themselves.
Well, you know there is a saying, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
So when you want all the